Hey everyone. Today's topic, don't stop your journey due to uncertainty. This is such an incredibly common thing that it almost feels like it's the default way many people live, where they pursue a goal or dream of theirs, then they hit a bunch of uncertainty and they give up on it because they're not sure how to deal with that uncertainty. That's why it's called uncertainty. But it's a huge mistake because uncertainty, even though there's tons of different forms of it, it's almost always temporary. You'll encounter different forms of that uncertainty along your journey, but each form is temporary. It's not there forever. Like, you will almost always be dealing with uncertainty along the journey in some form, but each version of that uncertainty is temporary. I hope that makes sense. I'm basically trying to say that even though you'll almost always be dealing with uncertainty, it's not a permanent thing, because it's not like there's this one overbearing entity of uncertainty that's just looming over you, destroying you. No, you break it down into all the smaller pieces that it truly is. Like, you'll encounter maybe the uncertainty of one minor roadblock that is thrown in your way, but that's only going to be uncertain for a short period of time, and then you'll figure out how to get around it or how to deal with it, and now it's no longer uncertain and you've broken through it. And then maybe you'll encounter another form of uncertainty, maybe you not knowing what your next step is. But again, that's temporary. You'll be able to figure it out at some point, and provided you keep moving forward, you're pretty much guaranteed to figure things out at some point. So this is why I believe it is not smart to give up on your goals and dreams due to uncertainty, because all the forms of uncertainty you'll encounter are temporary. And as long as you keep moving, you will almost always figure things out along the way. You will figure out how to deal with uncertainty over time. So don't give up on something important to you, something that gives your life meaning and purpose, just because you're unsure of what you need to do. So many people do that, and it's just, what the hell, guys? Like, we've got this one shot at life. We have no idea whether or not we get more opportunities. We don't know how much time we'll have. Why would you let uncertainty stop you when it's not even a permanent thing? Like, all those little forms of it that you encounter, you can figure out how to get past them. There's never going to be a permanent obstacle thrown in your way, for the most part. I mean, maybe that could potentially happen, but even if it does, you can still pivot direction completely and find a way around it. Like, let's say maybe there's an idea you have for a car or something, and then the government makes that idea illegal. Well, yeah, I guess now that idea is something you can't do anymore for whatever reason. But you can still do something else. Maybe now you have another car idea that isn't illegal and you can follow that route. So it's just pivoting to find things that will work. But for the most part, it's very, very rare that you'll encounter a roadblock that is something you can't overcome. Like, that's ridiculously rare. That's why I use the government as an example, because that's really one of the only situations where it'll be something you can't overcome. If it's literally something the government says, hey, this is illegal, you can't do that, and then, yeah, good luck. But even then, maybe other countries allow it. I don't know what example would work there. Something that's illegal probably isn't a route you'd want to take anyway. So there you go. That shows just how rare it'll be that you encounter something that you literally can't get past. But for the most part, almost every form of uncertainty that is thrown your way will be temporary. It'll be something that you can figure out, something you can dismantle and turn into a known entity, and then it's no longer uncertain. You'll figure out how to deal with it. Maybe you need to chip away at it like a rock in front of a miner's path, or maybe you'll be able to go around it because it's just a big tree in your way and there's a path over here that you can take instead of trying to go through the tree, or things like that. There's always a way to deal with that uncertainty. But if you give up when you encounter uncertainty, then now you're shooting yourself in the foot. You aren't even trying to deal with that obstacle. Because if there's one thing I've learned in life, it pretty much is that as long as you keep moving forward, you will figure things out. Like, there really is some magic to it. I don't know if, I almost want to call it like a law of the universe because of the way it works, but that's been my experience so far. As long as you keep trying, you keep moving forward, you will almost always figure things out. Even if it takes a while, but you will almost always find that way that will get you moving forward. Even if it's just simply reaching out and asking for help, and then somebody in your network happens to know how to deal with whatever problem you're facing. Even stuff like that. Or maybe one day you're browsing the internet and you find a solution to your problem. There's just always going to be something that will help you move past uncertainty. So really the only certainty out there is that if you give up, your life is not going to be as great as it could be. So do not allow uncertainty to stop you. Because really, all uncertainty is just temporary things that will eventually become certain. They will become known entities. So just keep moving forward and you'll figure it out. Really, the most important thing to think about when you're pursuing your goals and dreams is to believe in yourself, because that is what will make you unstoppable. That is what will allow you to push through uncertainty and turn it into that known entity that's no longer scary, because now you know how to deal with it. But if you don't believe in yourself, then yeah, that uncertainty is going to look like this crazy, horrific monster, and you are equipped with a little dagger, and you're looking at it like, holy crap, I need a sword like maybe that long to deal with this thing, but I only have this little dagger. What am I meant to do? Yeah, but if you believe in yourself, that little dagger you're carrying will instead be like a freaking broadsword, and you'll be able to conquer that beast in front of you. I don't know, hopefully that's a good analogy. Maybe it isn't, but there you go. Just believe in yourself first and foremost, and that will give you the confidence to just keep going and trusting that you'll figure things out along the way, because you almost always will. Like, for real, there have been countless stories of successful entrepreneurs who failed hundreds of times when trying to start their businesses, but then eventually they succeeded with one more try, and that was all that was needed. I mean, failing hundreds of times, that means there are hundreds of uncertainties they dealt with, but they were able to overcome them and keep going and finally find the one route that was going to work. Or maybe they even just found one of a myriad of routes that was going to work, but that was the first one they discovered. So there could be so many more routes they could have taken that would have worked. And the same thing goes for you and your own goals and dreams. There likely isn't one way to do it correctly. It's just one way that you'll find first, and it'll work. But there are probably tons of different ways that will work out for you. So just trust in your ability to keep going long enough to find one of those ways that will work, and then you'll accomplish your goal or your dream. So just keep going. Really, don't let uncertainty stop you. Do not give up just because things get difficult and you're not sure what to do. Just really, another important piece of advice I can give you, besides working on believing in yourself, is just figuring out what small step you can take now to get you closer to your goal and dream, because that will also help you conquer uncertainty over time. If you can think of one tiny step, even if it's simply asking for help online, or maybe even just summoning the courage and energy to get up out of bed and keep going another day, even something that small can help you accomplish your goal and dream over time, because it'll mean that you're still going, you're still moving down that journey that's going to lead to you eventually succeeding. So there you go. That's pretty much all I have for you guys in this video. I truly hope you enjoyed this one. If you like content like this, be sure to subscribe for more. Otherwise, throw a like and a comment on the video for the algorithm, and I will see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!